Identity family, will back again on the African Identity platform. My name is King Idris and I'm here to give you guys the new insight on what is going on the home ground in Africa and international community. Today, my people will back again with a lot of prolific topic. We are here again. I'm here with Mr. Steven to give you guys more prolific insight on Africa Unity TV with King Idris. So what do you think, sir?
As usual, I need to welcome our viewers to fanciful listening to our topics today.
Because it's all about love, it's all about unity, it's all about togetherness, it's all about happiness. So my people, we're digging in. So we'll be talking about Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos State in Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that went on an international tour, tour to talk to the people, to get more closer to more of Nigerians about his aim and his ambition to be the next president of Nigeria. So he went to the Chatham House and, Omokri, that was Reno Omokri, that was an aide to the former president of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, came with his own people to sabotage his supporters at the Chatham House in the United Kingdom, in London. So what do you think about all this going on? Because, on this platform, it's all about unity, it's all about love, and we want the best for the Nigerian politicians in the upcoming presidential election. So what do you think about this move by Reno Omokri to sabotage Bola Ahmed Tinubu supporters in the Chatham House in London? So what do you think?
Politicians all over the world, their trade is to run down the opposition. As you said, Reno Omokri was a aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan, and Goodluck Jonathan is a prominent member of PDP.
Yes.
And this is Bola Ahmed Tinubu in APC. So they are the two giant political parties in Nigeria. And you remember when PDP was in power, they boasted that they would rule Nigeria for 50 years.
You're very right.
Unfortunately, they were not able to do that. So it is natural for PDP and Reno Omokri to do their best to make sure that PDP gets back to power. And that is what Reno Omokri has been doing. He's a very formidable member of PDP, and he's doing his own campaign too for PDP. That's what he's doing. Nothing so special.
But do you think this is what we need now in Nigeria with the inflation, the economy issue in Nigeria as a whole itself? Do you think this division is what we need, or they should find a way to do proper stuff? We saw in the United States of America, when they have their manifesto or they have their international tour for the politicians in their presidential elections, we see the way they move. They go to schools. There's nobody coming out, to sabotage other people's supporters. We've seen that even in the European kingdom, in the European nations, like there's no body coming out to sabotage other politicians. But in Africa, it's very rampant for other parties to attack or sabotage or, to stop other supporters, because it's all the game of freedom, and we need peace and unity, freedom of speech. So do you think this is what we need between the Nigerian politics?
Definitely, this is not what we need, but that's our reality. It's at times when people compare Nigeria or Africa with the United States of America and European countries, I find it very uncomfortable because we are not in the same race. We do not match.
In terms of politics, in terms of what?
In terms of politics, in terms of freedom of speech, in terms of people playing genuine politics. You see, PDP and APC, which are the most formidable political parties in Nigeria, they are like half a dozen and six. They are the same.
Yeah, they are the same. They are the same.
APC did something like this to PDP when PDP too was in power. So it's the same thing. Whether APC wins or PDP wins, the cycle will continue. That is what we do in Africa. The only thing we do is to play down the opposition. Nobody, in my own opinion, among the two parties has been able to convince us with their antecedents, with their legacies, with their manifestos of what they want to do. Remember when PDP was in power and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was a political leader in APC, was telling us that when PDP comes to power, they will tackle corruption, they will remove fuel subsidy. These things are still going on. So they are the same. They are one and the same. I don't think I should have pity for any of them. What they hold on is good governance.
So let me ask you another thing. What do you think about the Tinubu manifesto? Like, he was talking about he's going to focus more of his attention on the security issue in the country and how he's going to fight the inflation issue in the country too. And if you compare what between Tinubu, Atiku and Peter Obi, who do you think have better better manifesto in this presidential election race that I think have said something that the people want to listen to, or somebody that have already speak for the people? Because Peter Obi speaks about how he's going to bring the country together in terms of unity and focus more on Nigeria education. And Tinubu have already talks about how he's going to put more of his attention and focus more on the Nigerian crude oil, and everything going about the Nigerian fuel. And Atiku have already talks about how he's going to be like the new face of the civil servant in Nigeria, that everything is going to work fine in the north, in the south, and in the west. So what do you think about these three candidates that they have a lot of other prominent candidates? What do you think about them? What do you think Tinubu is going to make through his short-term interview in London, where he talks about he want to focus more of his attention on security and crude oil? So what do you think?
No, talk, they say it's cheap. Anybody can say anything. They can promise us heaven and earth. This is not the first time political parties or candidates will say fantastic things. They know how to write manifestos very well. That is good for them. But we have not seen all these things manifest in reality. They keep telling us they are going to fight insecurity. Buhari said that. When Buhari said that, I believe him because he was a retired military personnel. I believe he was saying...
And he was also a president of Nigeria, so we believe he had the capacity to have the cooperation of the military personnel in Nigeria to support him.
Before he became the president, he was between 1984 and 85, he was the head of state. That is, he was ruling as a military person. Now he became a politician, so I believe he had what he... And
he's even one of the most disciplined head of state in Nigerian history.
Yes.
That they have their own area with Idiagbon at the time, when they have their, their official...
War against indiscipline.
Yeah, war against discipline,
They try to put discipline on Nigerian populace. Yes.
They control the price, control everything, and it was a beautiful era before Babangida kicked him out,
Yeah, so when he became the civilian president, I was disappointed. I never expected things would be this bad. And in my own opinion, this is the worst time in Nigerian history.
You're very right.
Apart from the time of Civil War, this is the worst time. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said repeatedly that he installed the president, Muhammadu Buhari. He said he installed him. He said if not for him, he wouldn't have become president. And I tend to believe him because the current president contested 3 times before then until he made alliance with Bola Ahmed Tinubu's party.
And the Lagosian in the West.
Yes.
But do you think he's saying that because he's the party chairman of the APC at the time, or do you think he's just saying that as just a party leader, or what do you think about it?
Whether Tinubu becomes a good president or not, he is a good politician. He knows how to play the politics. He knows that. Let's give that to him. Whether we like him or not, that is what he knows how to do best, and he has been doing that. Whether you'll be able to translate that into managing the country resources very well is another thing. And being a politician of repute, every politician, in my own opinion, has 2 faces. You cannot readily predict what they are.
It's been written in the politics the full definition of politics means a game that is being played between a group of people in any section of life, in church, any social gathering. And the main definition of political science is being stated that is a game that has been played by political animals. So politicians has been, categorized in the full definition of politics itself as political animals. So, they have their own ambition. They can say whatsoever they want to say to the people to get the trust of the people. And at the end of the day, we still come back to the same situation that we have. We see it in the era of, enormous politicians in Nigeria like Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, Yaradua, President Goodluck Jonathan, and we're coming down to the era of Muhammadu Buhari, the president at the time now in Nigeria. All these things coming up, do you think this is the state we should be now in Nigeria?
No, definitely, this is not the state. This is not the condition. No, Nigeria is abundantly blessed in natural and human resources. Nigerians abroad are doing fantastically well. Very, very well. Everybody knows that. But because the home ground is not conducive for many people, many people want to leave the country. People that should have been contributing very, very well to the development of the country are leaving. That is one. Two, when security is a top priority of a government, and for years they've not been able to tame insecurity, it speaks volumes of the faith of people in that government. People do not have faith any longer in this government, and that is a big minus for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because every living soul want to be secured first. There is hardly any highway in Nigeria that is safe. They kidnap people insecurity has become so much that it is no longer a news. Kidnapping is no longer a news. It got so worse that terrorists are giving notes, sending letters to communities to contribute money to pay them. Otherwise, they come and kidnap. And people you have to pay. People contribute money to go and give to terrorists, to kidnappers. It is that worse.
So do you think Bola Ahmed Tinubu can change that face in Nigeria, cop the insecurity issue in Nigeria, and attack what they need to attack in terms of securing the livelihood of the people, and securing the citizens of Nigeria? So what do you think?
I'm not particularly interested whether he will do that or not, because the game Bola Ahmed Tinubu is playing now is that he's desperate to become president. That is his own ambition now. He wants to become the president, and this is the last chance he has. I'm not saying he will not live long or much longer, but he is not particularly healthy enough to carry on for a long time. If he fails this time around, can he contest in the next 4 years?
Okay.
It's particularly at disadvantage because of his set, in my own opinion. Atiku is the same thing. It's old too. So these are desperate times for these people. They will promise us what they cannot do. I'm very sure of that.
Promise anything just to get to that situation, because to that position, because they have.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said it repeatedly that this is his time.
Emilokan
means
it
is my turn to rule
in the Yoruba language.
So whatever it takes, he will give it.
So you don't think it's going to change nothing in the face of Nigerian politics, even though if they elect him to be the new president of Nigeria, he thinks it's not going to change nothing?
I'm not expecting that, so that I will not be disappointed.
So let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the next case. So we want to talk about the power of two mighty countries coming out of West Africa. That's the power of Nigeria and Ghana. So there's a lot of issue coming out in the market space between, the commerce in the commerce space between the people doing their business in Ghana and Nigeria. Most of the Nigerian traders in Ghana are having difficult times in Ghana because there's a lot of issue coming up with them. They say the Ghanaian citizens said they're just bringing down the price so to gain more customers than them, and it's really getting hard to the point of they have already took some people out of some market space in Ghana, like in Saku and some other places in Ghana, and this issue is coming up. I'm just bringing this out because it's a viral issue. That's the reason I'm talking about it. It's all about unity. It's all about love. So what do you think ECOWAS should do to secure the space and the peace and unity between these two beautiful countries, Nigeria and Ghana, in terms of trade? So what do you think ECOWAS should do?
First thing is that things are getting bad for African countries. Things are really getting bad.
The economy is
going
sinking.
down. It's nose diving. Seriously, we know that. And it is common that when you are in business, when you are trading, the main reason why you are in business is for financial gain. You want to make profit.
Yes.
And since you are not the only one in that space, it has to be competitive. It has to be competitive. And that is why when you are in business, you look for things that will give you competitive advantage. So those people who are trying to pull down their prices to encourage more sales are doing the right thing. It's a business ethic. However, Ghana as a country has the right to protect our citizens. It is their right to protect them. It is only in countries like Nigeria where everything goes. People will come from many countries without proper documentation and do trade and go away. No, a sensible country will have the citizen at heart. If you know, there was even a time that Ghana authorities are giving certain instructions on where Nigerians or foreigners can trade and the quality of things they can sell
in that country.
This is a way of protecting the people. In Nigeria too, we did this long time ago where we did indigenization of companies. We made some foreign countries to become localized so that Nigerians will take over. It's natural. But as much as they want to do that, I believe they should do it in an healthy environment, in an environment where you will not completely run down foreigners. You can protect your citizens, fine. There's nothing wrong in that. That is how it should be. That's the essence of voting for people, putting people in power to protect you. You have to be protected. But because we all belong to ECOWAS, and ECOWAS means economic community. Economic community.
Of West
The
Africa.
essence of ECOWAS is to boost economic interaction between member countries. And that is why Nigerians can go to Ghana freely, Ghana can come to Nigeria freely. And give it to Nigerians. They are very, very enterprising. They are hardworking. They can survive anywhere. Anywhere Nigerians go to, they can survive.
But the way the Ghanaians are treating this situation to be, it's not like we survivor no more. They feel like we affecting their own business and their own livelihood in their country. So what do you think about it? Because to me, I think we're brothers.
Yes.
I think we're one people, because if you talk about the closer country to Nigeria, it's not even Ghana. The closer country to Nigeria, the neighboring country, is Cameroon and Benin Republic.
Yes.
And after that, you have Togo. Then after that, then you go to Ghana. Then from Ghana to Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. So my brother, we all know that because we speak English, and the same people that the same Western countries, the England that colonized Nigeria, they don't that colonize Ghana too. So we're very close in similarities in culture, but we're not the same. We're not the same, because truly there's some Yoruba tribes in Ghana, part of Ghana today, and there's some Igbo tribes too, but we're not the same. We're not the same. We're different people. So what do you think about this?
No, some years back, we experienced what is called xenophobia in South Africa. And the excuse then was that Nigerians are taking over their businesses, that Nigerians are taking over, they had no job to do. So they forced Nigerians out, or foreigners, which the largest population was Nigerian population. That is not what anybody should support anyway. But what I'm trying to say is that Nigeria has the largest population in Africa. I think the fourth or the fifth in the whole world. Over 200,
the fourth in the world.
Over 200 million people.
Yeah.
Nigeria is experiencing hard times. So what do we do? People move out of the country to survive somewhere else. If we are not careful, we are going to see a crisis of Nigerians taking over some African countries.
How?
Because we have the population. The population of western part of Nigeria alone, I think, is bigger than that of Ghana.
Yeah. Ghana is like 28 million in population, close to 30 million.
Yeah, well,
and
yes.
Nigeria is like close to 300 million.
200 million. And we are moving out. So if you go to a market in Nigeria, in Ghana, and you see almost half being Nigerians, that is a threat.
Yeah, you think twice.
I've been to Tokwa Market in Cotonou, Benin Republic. I saw a large number of Nigerians all over the places, all over. And you know, where Nigerians are, we are always noticeable. We are always everywhere. So maybe Ghanaians feel threatened by the population.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think they do, because you know, enormous population putting into going to Ghana, and some don't even have no job to do over there. Their immigration, they caught a lot of people, like 494 people was being deported back to Nigeria. I have that on my channel. You can check it out. You can check the video out. An enormous female going to Ghana, and most of them, they say they're doing prostitution in Ghana. And most of these female, they have already come out, you know, speaking large about it. Like, we don't even need to work no more in Nigeria. We can just come to Ghana and make good money doing hookup. Like, they do not even know hookup make more money in Ghana than Nigeria. So all this behavior coming out of Nigeria, young Nigerians, young female from Nigeria, you know, all this coming out, the Ghanaian citizens are really speaking out. And, you know, to the market section, to most of the citizens that comes to, some go to the market section to work and, you know, to look for a livelihood. But the Ghanaian government have their own policy that you can only do retails. There's limitation to what you can do in the market space. But the Nigerian citizen don't take it that way. They're like, we survivors, we have to survive. So what do you think about young Nigerians doing hookup, doing prostitution in Ghana?
I don't blame Ghana authorities. I don't blame them. I'll say there is the essence of voting for people to control. The essence of government is to protect our citizens first. All other people, all other foreigners are second class in Ghana. Ghanaians are the only first class in Ghana. And the government has full responsibility to protect them. See, you leave your country because you belong to the same ECOWAS, where you can travel without visa. You spend 90 days unchecked. Does not allow you, does not give you power to be excessive.
Yeah. You
leave Nigeria, you leave your country. You go to another people's country and engage in trade that is illegal, that is illicit. If Ghanaian authorities are not checking these people, they will take over Ghana. I'm telling you, I know Nigeria, they will take over Ghana.
So what do you think about the female doing prostitution in Ghana?
That's what I'm saying. This is one illegal business you are doing. And this is not a kind of business that you register. This is not the kind of business you have a shop. The world is so socialized, or you can live your world on social media as a hookup.
Yeah, it's a global village now. It's a global village now.
Will I say as a hookup professional or what? You can live on social media. All you need to do is set up your Facebook or Instagram or something.
But do you think it's good for them to go to Ghana to do prostitution? That's what I'm saying.
It is not good. Ghana authorities will not allow that. They will crack down on them.
And they are even vocal about it. They put it on TikTok, do so many numerous video about it, speaking about it. You know, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're speaking about. Like, that's not what we should do in other people's country, because you know this the kind of issue that cause the kind of cases that the Nigerian and the Ghana have between themselves from the early days of time. You know, I don't want to talk about it. The Ghana
training all on the good side now is entertainment. Anything apart from that, Nigeria's on the bad side. You cannot go to another person's country and do prostitution. That is inimical to the growth of any country. You can't do that.
So about the guys that they say they are allegedly they say they do fraud and the girls do prostitution. So what do you think about this?
Of course. Do you know that most of these people who do hookup also steal? They steal from their, will I say, clients. They steal. They do also. But people who do fraud, you go to another people's country and do fraud and do scamming. It is so bad now. It is so bad now that there are places, there are adverts. You see, they say Nigerians should not apply.
Yeah.
It has happened in UAE before. They say coming to Ghana. I've seen cases where they say Nigerians Ghana should not
apply because we're from West Africa.
Because we are, yes.
Some people don't even know the difference between Nigeria and Ghana. Because we look alike, we dress alike, yes. We talk alike, same music, same food, same fufu, same everything. We basically same people, but our people should do better. They need to go there and do the right thing and give Nigerian a good name in wherever they go to. In Italy, they say it's home of prostitution for Nigeria. Now they're doing the same thing they're doing in Italy, in Ghana, in West Africa. So my
Nigerians should go for legitimate businesses. They should go for legitimate. It is not so bad that you cannot survive without doing illegitimate. You can do right businesses and survive. Ghana, I give it to Ghana. They should not allow that. They should not, as much as possible. They should deport. You can't go to another people's country and spoil the name, because if it goes like this, the next thing they will do, they take over that country, they take over another country, and we have enough of discrimination because of being Nigerians.
Okay, so
we should not extend it to all of West Africa.
So we should be careful when we go to other people's country and respect the law of the land of the country we go to. Okay, so we'll be going to the next one. We're talking about the American basketball player Brittney Griner that was being arrested in Russia for marijuana at the airport. You know, she was being arrested and she has been in jail for some couple of months now, but they're trying to swipe her with other armed criminal that has been jailed in America already. They want to swap her with this armed dealer, the Russian armed dealer. They want to swap this basketball player with this Russian armed dealer. So what do you think? Is this a good look? Because we know America and Russia have their own Cold War. And after that, they advanced to this friendship and relationship of everything going on smoothly in the world. I know my platform is all about unity. It's all about togetherness. It's all about oneness. I'm not here to put down no country. I'm just in here to give you guys the insight. So Brittney Griner has been, is going to get swapped with this armed dealer from Russia. Is it good? Because the LGBT community have been speaking out, and she's an African American, and she had a huge impact in American community in the basketball female world, in the WNBA for the female basketball team. So what do you think about this?
One thing America does that we always have my heart is that they are protective of their citizens. Everywhere,
Nigeria don't do the same thing.
No, Africans don't do that.
Africans,
yes.
The whole of Africans,
the whole African countries, we don't.
The
whole
of 54 countries don't do that.
We don't do that. We are ready to throw our citizens to the dogs rather than protect. America as a country, we always protect our citizens anywhere, anytime. Griner that was caught with marijuana. In America, let me say, like New York, marijuana is legal.
Yeah.
They call it a recreational marijuana.
Even in California, even in some other Colorado, some other states in America.
So I don't know whether Griner knew that that is a banned substance in Russia or not. Anyway, he was arrested for that. And because America consider this particular citizen as an asset,
Yeah, she's a
They
big asset.
will not allow her to rot.
That's why they're swiping her with this arm dealer from Russia.
See the value America places on our citizens. They are swapping an arm dealer for somebody who was caught. Gun running, arm dealing is a serious offense, international offense. You cannot compare the two. But America is ready.
They know the asset, they know the quality
America
of Brittany Griner, yeah.
To release this, to swap this criminal.
Because for their own citizens.
For their own citizens.
Yeah, because you know, she had enormous, work she's been doing for the American government, taking care of the youth, teaching them basketball, even in a lot of charity program that she has been involved in California, all through America. And this is not the first time of her being in Russia, and a lot of enormous entertainers speak out about this, footballers speak out about it. A lot of people took marijuana in Russia, and they say they don't know it's a big offense. Truly, it's not being legalized like it is in America and some other states in some other countries in Europe. In Europe countries, it's not been legalized that in Russia. But a lot of people go there and they smoke their weed. But a lot of people think this arrest of Brittany Griner is a political motives for Russia, to have more power in arresting and swiping against Russia prisoners that have been captured on the ground in America. Is this a political move?
I was going to say something like that. America and Russia, no matter what they want us to believe, we know they are not friendly.
Yeah.
Especially, Russia is having issue with Ukraine. We know the position of United States
to Ukraine.
We know. So, America and Russia can only be friendly on the surface. We know deep rooted between their hearts, they are enemies. Cold War is always going on.
Yeah.
So, any opportunity Russia has to get back at United States, they jump at it.
Yeah, they take advantage.
So that is what I think is happening here. Even for them to put forward that, okay, you want us to swap, you are swapping an arm dealer. Are you telling
for a professional basketballer
with just marijuana? Are you telling us that there are no Russia in America with lesser crime than arm dealing?
A lot.
Yeah, there are a lot of them, I guess. But that is what they want to get back at United States. That's just what they are trying to do, in my own opinion.
And do you think the reason why Russia hold her for too long to make this swipe, is it because she's an African American? Is that the reason why they just feel like, they're not going to do nothing about her? Or what do you think about this?
It's
she being
in my
African
own
American?
opinion, it's just they want to get back to United States.
So it's not about her being an African American.
No, in this case, she's an American. Russia would not want to say whether it's an African American or a Native American. He is an American.
She's an American.
She represents America now. Yes.
And the whole of American people.
Yes.
So, my people, the partner of Brittany Griner have been speaking of this. She has been on all social media platforms, all news, false news, every news you can talk about, any media platform you can talk about in the United States of America. She has been out, talking about this and how they're going to free the love of her life, and America is a country that had a lot of freedom. Everybody have their own rights to their own peace in their own life. So we'll be going to the next topic on this. We wish her to come back home safe. To our own people of the African American community, we want the best, and we want the best for her. And on my platform, it's all about unity, it's all about togetherness, it's all about oneness. We're not in here to pull down nobody. So we'll be going to the next topic. I'll be talking about Chris Paul and the basketball player, and I'll be talking about Kanye West, the prolific rap mogul, have come out and said he caught Chris Rock on bed, same bed with the mother of his children, Kim Kardashian. What do you think about this?
Well, for some time now, Kanye West has been on the news.
Yeah.
He's been the most controversial personality right now. It's always, Kanye West has been in the news. He's been a controversial figure this recent times, and when he spoke again that he caught somebody You know, in America, women have a certain level of rights. Even if you really caught them, which I don't want to say is not true, which you really caught them, there are certain level of things he could still not do.
She had enormous history in that kind of lane. So if he said he caught them, found them in bed, it's what it is. He's the husband of the wife, and you know, it's been controversial issue of Kanye West coming out lately, but you know, I think he's speaking his right. I don't think he's mad. Do you think he's crazy?
Of course, he's not mad. You know what he's saying. You can't come to public and lie about that. You can't do that, especially about somebody who is high status, somebody of it's an influencer, it's a model to so many people. So you cannot just come up and lie.
He's a billionaire, a mogul.
Yes. So, but when I said America has a kind of level of freedom, is that you know quite well that this lady he has acted in a pornographic film before.
With Ray J, and a lot have come up in that in the past.
And if you did not see anything bad in it, although they will come up with excuses that it is a film, it is an acting, there's no emotion attached to it. But to me, that cannot go away. That cannot go away. To me, it is even worse than cheating. For somebody who's doing a professional porn acting to get married, there's no way I want to believe that films are films. There must be because in this evil film we are talking about, there are rehearsals.
Do you think she do what she did? Do you think Kanye West is crazy as people said it?
Well, it depends on how an individual wants to manage their life. He knew before. This lady has done this before, and he felt he could cope with it. And it was coping. He was coping with it until recently, where he said he saw them. Well, I don't think, to me, I don't think there's anything special in that. What you saw them doing, you have seen them doing that before in movies.
But this is a mogul. She's a billionaire too, and she's even the person like moving in deep to fight the prison reform in America. Kim Kardashian have been doing a good job, going to prison, helping people out, supporting people, even a lot of prisoners that come out of prison that had no money, a lot of people that have been captured falsely. She really helped them, and she assisted and support a lot of people. So this kind of influential, she's a popular figure that's supposed to be a prolific identity to showcase to the youth that how this prominent figure really works. So is she the one that's supposed to be doing all this, and is this good for their family, for their kids? They have like 4 children, you know.
Let us not forget that humans are humans. No matter how much influence he has on people, no matter the level of charity she has been doing in the country, this thing she did, Bill Clinton did it with Monica Lewinsky when Clinton was the president. He was caught. So what is so special in some, although it's not a good thing, but I don't think this is something we should crucify her for. No. The only thing I want to hear is that, okay, I've done this, I made a mistake, I apologize. A whole president did it. He was not impeached. The wife did not divorce him. The whole president of a country, of this same United States of America. Right? So, I don't think there's any, especially, see, when people do things, you check their antecedents, you check their background. It is not surprising to me that somebody who has acted in adult movie before,
even the mother and the fathers, even they are even in support.
So be that as it may, I don't think the Kim has any reason, any excuses for doing that. It's an influencer. He has a million followers.
So what she do
on all platforms, on social platforms. So that is going to rub badly on a lot of young people, young girls especially, looking up to her.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be in future. It will be very hard for a lot of young people to go on with their life, because this is their role model and this is the kind of people they put on their life too. So we'll be going to the next one. We'll be talking about Samuel Eto'o Fields, the chief of the African football, like the CAF. He had an issue, an altercation with an Algeria journalist when he chased him down and he started kicking this brother in the face. It's on all social media platforms. A lot of people have been talking about this. So what do you think about this behavior from Samuel Eto'o Fields coming from Cameroon at the World Cup?
Samuel Eto'o Fields disappointed me. If it is true he did what he's accused of doing, is below debate. All the history of Eto'o Fields that I've read, that I've heard, and everything I know about him is being a gentleman to me. So, and people of Cameroon trusted him so well to make him the football association president,
leader,
in their country. So he is in Qatar as a representation of that country,
of Africa.
Now he did what he did, and what I like is that the journalist asked him particularly if he offered bribe to a particular person. I think this is not expected from Eto'o Fields. That is a bad conduct. That is a bad character. Even as a player, you do that, you get sanctioned. As a player, you cannot do that and go scot-free. You can be fined in matches. You can be fined in monetary terms. Now, as a leader, you don't do that. Many people look up to you. Many people see you as a role model. That's an assault. And I like the reporter has filed a complaint in the police station in Qatar.
Him and his bodyguard really beat up this guy, and he's on all social media platforms. I can show you on this platform because of the YouTube guidelines. So, Samuel Eto'o Fields is one of the respected footballer out of the provision of Africa, and he's been putting enormous work in supporting the Cameroonian national team and other countries coming from Africa. She is one of the top-notch African footballer in history and one of the richest in terms of football. So I don't think he should do this.
To cut you short, it's not just one of the best footballer. He's the most decorated footballer in Africa.
Yeah, in history.
In history. So when we are doing the ranking of African footballer, Eto'o is the best. Eto'o is the best. So for him now, that is like a face of Africa in global football. Now doing this is a slight. It's not good enough. I think what I will expect from Eto'o Fields is now to call a conference and apologize to this reporter and everybody, every fan of football all over the world.
I think he's going to apologize. He's going to do that because he's the chief head of the CAF football in Africa. And, a lot of the Cameroonian people too have already express their opinion about this issue. We've never seen him in this kind of situation before. We've never seen him in this kind of act before. So there will be a reason to that. And I think the guy accused him wrongly, and just walk up on him and start asking him questions and things. That's the reason why he freaked out and he just, took it out to be something different. So we wish Samuel Eto'o the best in everything he do. He should know how to control his anger because he's one of the, the most decorated footballer out of Africa and as a whole. So my people, this is what we are here to talk about today. We're not in here to put nobody down. The journalist is from Algeria and Samuel Eto'o Fields is from Cameroon. We want love, peace and unity. That's what we preach on this platform on Africa Unity TV with King Idris. It's all about unity. It's all about togetherness. It's all about oneness. It's all about the growth of African people for the betterment of Africa. So my people, will be going to the other topic. We'll be talking about Takeoff, the American rapper that was being shot. They captured the guy that killed him, DJ Pat. Is an affiliate to the Mob Ties movement in Houston, Texas. He's been captured is in jail now, and they said his bail money to be at the duration of $2 million. So what do you think about this? You said it the last time, like he can never hide. They're going to catch him.
Yes, we've been having some series of discussion about this
black on black crimes,
crime in America. And we said the last time that the killer can only run, he cannot hide. Especially this is United States. You can't do such and go scot-free. Now they have captured him, they have put him in custody, and they are making a lot of seriousness about it. That's why they slammed $2 million
to bail, yes, the bail
as a bail, because these people are rich themselves. They are influential people, and if they don't check them, they're going to continue to have bad influence on young people. This is not the first time.
A lot of black men have been killed, openly on national TV that way.
Have been having good influence on people that could have developed people.
He owns business in Atlanta. He had enormous business that he employed a lot of people. I mean, Takeoff, he's been helping a lot of people, and he's one of the face of the Migos rap group of Atlanta,
So this black compliance is, okay, imagine now, Kanye West had been shot when he was younger than this.
He won't be a billionaire now.
He won't be a billionaire. This influence he had on people wouldn't have been there. These people, they are cutting short their life, had enormous potential of being philanthropic in their life. So it is a serious issue, and I thank American government for pinning this guy down, and I know it will serve the maximum possible punishment for it.
Yeah, so I'm happy they had this guy, DJ Pat from Houston. Is a good news on Takeoff, because when this happened, I felt bad about this, because this is the brother that have been coming out of the game for a long time. He's been grinding in the music scene in Atlanta, and he had enormous respect. Nobody have no issue with Takeoff, but it's very sad the way all this goes down in Houston at the alley party of the mob ties. Prince Jr. in Houston at the party in Houston. So my people, we just came out to give you guys the new insight on what is going on in the home guard in Africa and international community. We'll be coming to an end of the segment today. So what do you have to add on the content today?
Okay, yeah, well, is as usual, we always here, and we expect our esteemed viewers to always check on this channel, subscribe and comment.
So my people, we just hired to give you guys the new insight on what is going on. We'll be coming to an end of the segment today. I'll be saying Africanity to the world. One people, one Africa, one unity over division. Thank you, my people. Peace, like and subscribe to our channel.